the Cathedral of Seville, and especially its Giralda, is for the Cabildo a feeling of great responsibility. A responsibility that stems from the awareness of what the Giralda means for the city of Seville itself. We know that it has an emblematic character of the many possibilities that undoubtedly exist of how to represent Seville. One, if not the most singular, is precisely the Giralda. There has always been the sense of responsibility that has been translated into a multitude of interventions throughout its history, with varying depth, intensity, etc. But there has always been this sense of care. The decision in 2015 to undertake this comprehensive restoration of the Giralda was born, first of all, from the awareness that the passage of time, the weather, and many other factors necessarily have an impact on the degradation of the heritage, which must therefore be intervened and cared for. Since the last in-depth intervention in 1988, well, almost 4 decades have passed. But in addition to that, it is the awareness that today we have a series of technical possibilities that at other times in history did not exist. Today, thanks to these technical possibilities, we are able to restore an image that, in some aspects, only the builders of the Giralda were able to contemplate. Having a committee of experts on hand is undoubtedly unique. Not in all works, interventions, restorations that we carry out, there is such a committee of experts. However, once again, I insist on the uniqueness of the Giralda. That's why we wanted that all the work carried out by the architects be endorsed and backed up by the people who know the Giralda best, who have the deepest knowledge of it. In the Giralda, everything is, in a way, or at least that's how I see it, a little bit singular. Even the scaffolding itself and the way it's been put up, there's a certain uniqueness, and it's a different intervention to the ones we've done before. For example, in 2016, UNESCO in Paris recognized us as a model of management. Fundamentally, in the existing harmonization between the liturgical and punctual life of the cathedral and the cultural element. As part of the preventive maintenance plan that the Cathedral of Seville has been maintaining for many years, in the revision that was carried out year after year of the faces of the Giralda, we could see the deterioration of the materials that the Giralda had. The need arose in 2015 to study in depth what intervention was needed in the Giralda. It was necessary to intervene in the Giralda because it had loose elements that made it necessary to carry out restoration and reintegration work that would restore all the splendor that was being lost with the passing of time and meteorological events. The intervention that has been carried out on the 4 faces has been an intervention that has not only had to do with their integral restoration. The Cabildo was very clear that due to the speciality and uniqueness of the Giralda monument, it was necessary to carry out a unique special intervention in such a way that what was intended was to carry out 4 works instead of just 1. A research project, a documentation project, an intervention project, and finally a communication project. At the same time, by gathering the fundamental data that is now being treasured, over the years we will be able to obtain information that will be very substantial in terms of all the knowledge we have of the Giralda monument and of Almohad and Mannerist art. One of the tasks that had to be undertaken was structural reintegration. The structural straps that were installed after the Lisbon earthquake of 1756 in the 18th century were damaged, and one of the tasks that had to be carried out was to give them back their structural capacity. This has been done with new structural straps that have been installed which, as they were not joined up on the other three sides, have now been joined up on the last side. That is to say, they have been finished off, finally restoring the tower's structural stability that it had in the 18th century, and that until now, in the 21st century, it has not been possible to return it to the level it had when these works were carried out in 1756. The complete lightning conductor installation has been improved with 4 discharge lines, and in addition all of them have been joined together, creating a series of equipotential lines, in such a way that the protection of the monument against lightning is now better than ever before. The aim is to work in such a way that, when Easter week arrives, the Giralda will be completely visible in all its splendor, and afterwards, while works last, only one side will be hidden from view. It is not normal. It has been an amazing challenge that we've been able to resolve, and we have been able to resolve it because we found ourselves in an exceptional situation in terms of the possibility of building another scaffolding inside the body of bells of Hernán Ruiz, from which hangs a scaffolding that is perfectly anchored from where the exterior scaffolding hangs. We are very interested in bequeathing it, well, to those who come after us, because we know that it's a very important instrument in evangelization, in that path via pulchritudines that, through beauty, through so many things that the cathedral contains, brings us closer, well, to the Creator of all things, to the one who is supreme in beauty.